Would you like to know God's will for your life? Some people don't care what God's will is. Okay, I can't help you. But if you want to know and you're willing to do it, when you find out, it's amazing life. Like I'm supposed to do a shout out. I did one last time and it didn't take on James 3 to Master Sergeant Donald Kirshner and his wife Sandy. They write to us from Idaho, a couple times a week, text us, and you're supposed to write them a letter and put it in here. But you're trying to save the cost of a stamp, right? And just shout out to them. Okay. Thank you, folks, for all the help and support you've been. Come visit Lenox, Alabama, especially when it gets 80 below up there in Idaho. Come on down. Pay us a visit. Thank you so much. Appreciate all those that love our ministry and want to help. Okay, let's see. We're the folks who believe God ought to get the glory for the creation instead of the stupid evolution religion. Notice the smile. Stupid evolution. Yeah, okay. We're on Rumble, Ken Hovind Official, on Genesis Baptist Church, on YouTube, on Odyssey, and a bunch more places on drdino.com. If you have any questions, you can call 855-BIG-DINO. That'll get to our switchboard. I'm extension 3. Joe, you're the tech guy, extension 4. If you got questions or problems or comments, extension 5 if you want to schedule a house, schedule a cabin to stay in, extension 0 if you want to get materials or come take tours. Yeah. 1 is my wife, secretarial stuff. I don't know who 2 is. Hit it. See who answers. Somebody will answer. Okay. Billy, you want to be 2? Okay. Okay. You want to know God's will for your life? I do. I want that more than anything in this world. Coming to you live. Genesis Baptist Church, independent, temperamental, fundamental, right-wing, radical, chicken-eating King James Bible Church in Lenox, Alabama. There's our church inside and my library, and I'm doing broadcast up there from on the stage. Okay, let's see. You have hundreds of thousands of tours from all 50 states. People have come and 70 fun. How many of you guys took the tour today? How'd you like our real tour? Did you get your certificate? You survived the real tour? Nobody's died on that thing in how long? About a week, I think. I tell people, if you do fall out, just stay there, because I come by again a couple times a day, you know. I'll come by and pick you up. It's a lot of fun around here. Come take the tour of Dinosaur Adventure Land. One of our Jeeps, the yellow Jeep, goes 60 to 0 in 1 second when you hit a tree. Okay, here we are looking at the Science Center. Amazing Science Center. Visitors come from all over the place. We just want to teach people the Word of God and draw them closer to the Lord. Cabins you can stay in, 25 cabin spaces. Come visit. It's free. What more do you want? Okay. 16, 17 lakes now. Looking for a front end loader. Laszlo and I drove all the way to Mobile today to look at about 6 of them. Found some good ones, but they're a little out of our budget. Somewhere around $20 we're looking for. Okay. 25 maybe on the high end. But if you got one in your closet, you want to help us get a front end loader. We need one bad around here. Would you want to move all that dirt with a shovel?
Yes, sir.
That's a pile as big as Walmart parking lot. Man, oh man. Okay. Anyway, if you want to come here, help us do landscaping, clean our shop. It's endless around here. Landscaping, the Garden of Whedon. That goes for, anyway, come and see. Come visit Dinosaur Adventure Land. All right. I moved it. Look at that. September 19th, James 4. See the blue squares moved over, brother? I got it. If you want to help us stay open for free, join our 777 club. See, I like what you guys are doing. I want to support you. We ask if we don't ever check up on it. If God leads you, do it, okay? If you can, give $1 a day, $31 a month. Take us on as your missionary to the blind and the dumb. Hang on a second. There. Okay. Make any checks to CSE, Creation Science Evangelism, our ministry. Okay, get our video series. You're on the ball there. Look at that. $50 for the whole 18-hour seminar. After you're done, you can copy it, send it back the original, and get your money back, minus shipping cost. Can't beat that, okay? Also, our series on what on earth is about to happen. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's coming, folks. I think it's already started. Anybody else feel that way? Like tribulation has begun? There's a verse that'll haunt you. Luke 18:8. Jesus said, when the Son of Man comes, shall he find faith on the earth? Is there going to be anybody left serving him? This tribulation time is going to be so bad, might not anybody make it that loves the Lord. Interesting verse, Luke 18:8. Okay, get our woe series. Okay, perfect place to bring your visitors, bring your family, bring your women's group, men's group, Boy Scout retreat, Awana Club. Come on down. Okay, 4, 2, 3, enter. In Matthew Henry commentary, he lived in the late 1700s. He did a commentary on the whole Bible. And if you have a question about what's the Bible say, what's it mean about that verse, I recommend you look at him first. He generally got it right. He said about James chapter 4, here are cautions against corrupt affections and love of this world, which is enmity to God. That's the first 10 verses. Then the last 7 verses, exhortations to undertake no affairs of life without constant regard to the will and providence of God. Keep in mind, he wrote in the late 1700s when the average vocabulary was much bigger than the average vocabulary today. You might have to look up some of his words. Okay, so James chapter 4. From whence come wars and fightings among you? Where do fights and arguments come from anyway? Come they not hence, even of your lusts that war in your members? Comes from inside of us. Only by pride cometh contention. It's pride that causes every fight. How many had a marital spat over something and you knew one of you was too proud to admit they're wrong? You've been there before? Okay, yep. All right. Ye lust and have not, ye kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain. Ye fight and war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. You want things, but you can't get them. This all started back in the Garden of Eden, Genesis chapter 3. And unto Adam, this is the Lord talking, he said, because thou hast hearkened to the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake. What a strange verse. God said, Adam, I'm going to put a curse on the ground, and this is for your good, son. Now you have to work for a living. Before that, you didn't have to work. Lay around all day, eat the fruit off the tree, enjoy God's amazing creation. Do nothing if you don't want to. He said, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thou return to the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, unto dust shalt thou return. Ever since God put the curse on the ground and said, Adam, you have to work for a living now, son. Ever since that day, people have been trying to get out of having to do work. That's what all theft is about. You work hard, you buy something, and they'll come steal it. Right? That's what nearly all the wars are about. Oh, you got a beautiful country over there. I'll take it. Right? How many people have we had say, oh, Dinosaur Adventure Land's great. I'll take it. Yeah. Come in, want to take over. No, I'm sorry. This is not yours. Okay, so this is the problem. He said in 1 Timothy, godliness with contentment is great gain. Verse 9, they that will be rich, those that want to be rich but aren't willing to work for it, fall into temptation. The love of money is the root of all evil. Now, money isn't evil, but money is the exchange by which we buy things and that you don't want to work for it. Rather than have to work and get my potatoes, I'll just go buy them at Walmart. Let somebody else work for it, and I'll trade them my money for their potatoes. That's what all selling is about, right? Some people don't want to work, and so the love of money, not the money, but the love of money is the root of all evil. People lie to get money, they cheat, they steal just to get money. Because it goes back to the curse God put on Adam on the ground. Look, if you don't want to work hard, you're going to have to resort to one of those things. Somebody else is going to have to work hard to pay for it. It costs money to live on this planet. It just does. You want to eat? Okay, well then go grow your own potatoes or go buy them from somebody. All right, James 4. You ask and you receive not because ye ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. He said, guys, you're asking, but you're not getting it. You're asking it for the wrong reason. Why are you asking for that? To consume it upon your lust. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that friendship of the world is enmity with God? Enmity means like an enemy. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. This phrase, the world, occurs in the Bible a whole bunch of times, okay? I will put enmity between thee and the woman, he said in Genesis 3. I'm going to put arguments, disagreements. He's talking about Satan and the woman, okay? The Bible uses the word enmity a lot. Pilate and Herod were enemies, but they were at enmity, but they made friends over the crucifixion of Jesus. Made friends over killing God. Yeah, okay. Because the carnal mind is enmity against God. Let's see. Ye adulterers and adulterers, know ye not that friendship of the world is enmity with God? James 4, where we are tonight. Okay? Talks about the world a lot. The world. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. Job talked about, okay? The world. The earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell therein. I think there's a distinction between the earth and the world. The earth would be the big ball, the 7,920 mile, depending on where you're standing, diameter of the earth. That would be the earth. The world apparently is the systems, the people, and the system that lives on this planet. Best I can figure out, okay? There seems to be a distinction between earth and the world, okay? Let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. Or maybe they're interchangeable. Synonymous, I don't know. Doesn't matter, okay? God said, if I were hungry, I would not tell thee, for the world is mine. You think God's going to come asking you for a nickel? He's got streets of gold, okay? Behold, these are ungodly who prosper in the world. Some people are prospering in this world for now, okay? The heavens are thine, the earth also is thine. As for the world and the fullness thereof, thou hast founded them. God made them, okay? The gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world. So the Bible has a lot to say about this topic, the world. You can look up that phrase yourself. The world, the world, the world. The world's in there a bunch of times, okay? He was in the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. God so loved the world. He gave his only begotten Son. God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He wants you to come to heaven. Even though we're all spitting in his face, he still loves you. Now, he's going to be your judge one day. He's trying to warn you. Now you can be forgiven. Once you take that last breath and become worm food, it's too late, okay? The world, it's in the Bible a whole bunch of times. He said, keep yourself unspotted from the world, okay? Ye adulterers and adulteresses, the verse we're on now in James, know ye not that friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. That phrase, the world, found in the Bible 241 times. 19 times just in the book of Psalms, and 56 times in the book of John. It's a major theme here, the world. Okay, verse 5. Do you think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy, but he giveth more grace? Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. That phrase, God resists the proud, found in the Bible twice. Are you having a hard time in life? You ever feel like you work hard and you try and things just don't work out? You know, your car breaks down and something breaks, always your wallet is leaking real bad. Anybody ever seen that problem before where you get your paycheck and before you get it home, it's gone? Like what? It dribbled out someplace. Do you ever feel like God is resisting you? Well, you might want to look at this. Who does he resist? The proud. And he giveth grace to the humble. Some of you ought to get alone with God someplace, get up on the sand dune or find yourself a quiet place and say, Lord, I am sorry. I've been too proud to follow your word. You tell me what to do and I don't do it, Lord. I'm sorry. If your whole life might be just resistance. It's like driving with the brakes on. Take the brakes off, okay? Okay. He resists the proud. He resists the proud. He said in James 4, submit yourselves, therefore, to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to God, he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, and ye sinners, purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Submit yourselves. That phrase found in the Bible several times. Submit yourselves to the ones who are the spiritual leaders, your pastor. Say, Pastor, what should I do? Give me some advice. Wives, submit to your husbands. Said it twice in the Bible. Obey them that have the rule over you and submit yourselves. You should submit yourselves to the police authority. Look, they own the highway, okay? They built it. They paid for it. If they want to say the speed limit's 90, well, then keep it at 90. I mean, 60, okay. I always go at least the speed limit, okay? Submit yourselves to those that have the authority. Submit yourselves to God. Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man. You younger, submit yourselves to the elder. It's in the Bible 7 times, that phrase, submit yourself. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, he'll flee. Draw nigh to God, he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Double-minded, found in the Bible twice. James here, and again in James chapter 1, we saw it already. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. How many of you have ever come to a place where you can't decide to go right, left, and you're double-minded? What do I do? What do I do? Yeah, double-minded. There's a lot of jokes about that. People standing in the highway can't decide which way to go. You know, the car will help you decide. Okay. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. Humble yourselves. See, this is something you have to do to yourself. Some people are too proud. They're not about to humble themselves. Okay. Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. Humble yourself. Jeremiah said to the people. James, what one we're reading now, 1 Peter, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, and he may exalt you. Don't exalt yourself. How many have ever been in a crowd of people, and there's one person in there who's always bragging about how good he is on everything and wants to take over the conversation and take over the crowd, always bragging? Humble yourself. Let God exalt you. Okay? Speak not evil one of another. Brethren, he that speaketh evil of his brother and judges his brother speaketh evil of the law, and judges the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judgest another? Why are you making this decision? It's not your place. Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year and buy and sell and get gain. James is saying, now you folks that say, well, here's my plan for my life. I'm going to go here and work for a year and make a bunch of money and go over to this city and make a bunch of money. Before you plan out your life, what you are going to do, you might want to seek what God's will is, okay? Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow. What is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanisheth away. You can make all the plans you want, and they can change in a moment. Can't they? Yeah. Today or tomorrow, we will go. We're going to do this. He said, you know not what you shall be on the morrow. You don't know. Just be careful. Instead of saying, Lord, this is what I'm going to do, you should say, Lord, would you like me to do this? I pray that all the time. Lord, I don't know what to do. I'm going this way unless you block the road. Lord, show me what to do. Guide me. Okay? For you know not, for you that ought what you ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that. But now you rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. I get people once in a while, they say to me, hey, I'm going to do this with that building over there. Are you asking or telling me what you're going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do... Slow down. How about, would you like me to do this? Huh? You know what I'm talking about. Those of you that work here know especially, right? Okay. The Lord God said, it's not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helpmeet for him. See, God can do that. He's God. He can say, I will do this. I will do that. I will destroy the man in the flood. I will. The end of all flesh has come before me. I will destroy them with the earth. God said, I will do things a whole bunch of times in the Bible. He's the one who can do that. You can't. Don't say, I'm going to go to that town and make $1 million. I'm going to go buy out the whole town. Okay. I will bless them that bless thee and curse him that curseth thee. A whole bunch of promises to Abraham. In the book of Genesis chapter 17, there's a whole bunch of stuff. God said, I will do this. I will make a covenant. I will make you a blessing. I'm going to make you a mighty nation. And he did. And he's still going. It's not over yet, okay? I will. 2,400 verses talk about that. I will. I think God can decide to do that if he wants, okay? And he promises. The voice that shook the earth, but now he hath promised. See, when God makes a promise, it's going to happen. This is the promise that he promised us, even eternal life. See, God can say, I will save you if you'll ask me. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. God can make those promises. Him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, him it's a sin. He said, therefore. Anytime you see a therefore, you should see what it's there for. Okay? Look at the verse before. What he talked about in verse 16, 15, 16. You ought to say, if the Lord will, but you're rejoicing, you rejoice in your boastings. All such rejoicing is evil. James telling the people, look, you're bragging about all the stuff you're going to do, but you ought to say, if the Lord will. Therefore, him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, you know you should be asking God for his will instead of telling God what you're going to do. You better know that, okay? Here's the Lord's Prayer, Matthew 6. After this manner, therefore pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. What's he praying? Lord, your will be done. Is that what you pray? Or do you pray, Lord, make my will happen? Thy will be done, as it is in heaven, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, not yearly bread, not for the next 10 years. See, God often supplies one day at a time. How many have ever wished he would supply just a little more ahead of time? You know, you wish it came, yeah. No, it's daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Now, hold on. Do you really want to be forgiven the same way you forgive others? Do you really want to pray that? Lord, I want you to forgive me the same way I forgive others. Well, stop. You better stop and think about that. Are you sure you want that? Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Thy will be done. Lord's Prayer again in Luke chapter 11. As he was praying, his disciples said, Lord, teach us to pray, like John taught his disciples. And he said, when ye pray, say, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so in earth. Here's how you pray. Lord, I want your will to be done in heaven and earth. How can I help, Lord? I'm your servant. I'm here to help. What's your will? Yes, Master. What do you want? There it is again. Give us this day our daily bread. Moses and the children of Israel followed the pillar of cloud by day and the pillar of fire by night. They knew who to follow, and they knew what they were following. They didn't know where they're going, but God said, follow the cloud. Okay. And when that cloud and that pillar led them right up smack into the Red Sea, I'm sure some of the people were grumbling, this guy's a lousy driver. Look, we can't get out of this mess. Where are we going here? Lord said, hey, Moses, watch this. You know that stick you've been carrying around, Moses? Hold it up over the water. And the water parted. Now, they followed God, and they follow God, even if it doesn't make sense. It'll make sense when it's all over with. Do you even want to follow God's will for your life? Some people don't. Okay, bye. But if you get that attitude, Lord, I want to know what is your will. Lord, show me. I really want to know. Then the whole world changes. If he showed you, would you do it? Whosoever shall do the will of God, the same's my brother, sister, mother, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, but of the will of God, nor of the will of man, but of God. David fell asleep after he served his own generation by the will of God. David tried hard to follow God's will. God took him from being a shepherd to being the king. Let God exalt you, okay? Making request, if by any means, you can have a prosperous journey by the will of God to come to you. The will of God, mentioned in the Bible a bunch of times. Maybe you don't want it. Okay. Enjoy life. We'll see you Judgment Day. By the will of God, the will of God. You got to just decide, okay, Lord, I'm your child now, if you've been saved. What do you want for my life? And sometimes he will guide you through he took me through 15 years of teaching high school science and math. Why? I don't know. I'm using it now. Looking back, I can say, wow, that's why God did that. Now looking into it, you say, God, what do you want? Why am I here? What am I doing? Maybe he's trying to teach you humility. Maybe he's trying to teach you to follow. First thing they do in the military, they put them through 6 weeks of boot camp. One of the first things they're trying to teach them is, don't think, do what the boss says, right? What am I doing all these push-ups for? When am I going to use a push-up in battle? You probably never will, but you're going to use the same muscles to hold your gun. Duh, do the push-up, soldiers. Okay, you don't need to know. Just do the push-ups, okay? God says, you don't need to know. Just do what I say. He wants us to ask for things. Why? He already knows what we need. Yeah, but we need to humble ourselves to what we ask, okay? Some people come demand, hey, give me $20. How about ask? Can I please have $20? What's your attitude? Do you want the will of God? That's all. That's what James chapter 4 is about. Seek first the kingdom of God, his righteousness. All these things will be added to you. So I made a decision a long time ago in my Christian life. Lord, I want your will for my life, whatever that is. You want me to dig a ditch? I'm willing. Lord, you want me to fix the toilet? Have you ever scrubbed out a toilet? Some of you, I'm too proud to do that. Okay. God's probably not going to use you for much. Okay. All right. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, just a couple.
All right. We plan to do a study on Exodus. I've really been searching and thinking and praying about that being the next book, actually. We did Genesis. I did a little bit of Exodus. Brother, is that on DVD? Okay. There are 66 books in the Bible, and it's endless, the things you can study. So that has been high on my list, actually, thinking about praying about what's the next book after James. So let me think about that. Thank you. Okay. Barbara, thanks for all you do. You're an awesome teacher, and I share the videos. I have handed out your timeline to a few people. Thank you for the time you spent putting that together. Thank you so much, Barbara. You can buy these in bulk. Girls in the office, is there a bulk price if somebody, these are heavy laminate, they're fabulous. If they buy 50 of them or 2,000 of them, what? Yeah. Right. It costs us a fortune for the heavy lamination, but in all color. All about Grand Canyon, probably formed in a week, not millions of years. Okay. The time before the flood. These are great time. I carry one in my Jeeps when I give the tours, and I'm stopped refer to it all the time. And before the flood came, the people lived to be 900. Read Genesis chapter 5. It's right there. It's a great, put them for placemats on your table. What is it? They're like $10, but if you get 6 of them it's cheaper. What, you got that on there? Can you put the little dots up? Longevity charge, do you have a group price on that?
No.
Okay. Call 855 BIG-DINO extension 0, and she'll take care of it. Or extension 1. Don't ask me. I already don't know. So I'll tell you again, I don't know if you want me to hear me. Okay. All right. Anybody else? No crybaby tonight? Oh, Lake and Grace. Would a tractor with a front end loader work for you? Yes, but it'd take forever with the small tractor and front end loader. We have 2 Kubota tractors with a front bucket, but it's like moving Mount Everest, with a spoon. We think we need a bigger one, at least for a couple months. And then if we don't need it to keep it, we'll sell it and get our money back. That's the plan. We found several really good ones for $20,000. That's getting closer to our range. So if you want to help, contact my wife, I guess, at 855 BIG-DINO extension 1. Okay? Last one. I live in Arizona. Anything I can do to let me know? Well, spread the word around. I would like anybody that loves this ministry to you call radio stations, contact anybody you know with social media outlet, and let them have me on as a guest on their program. I would like to be on 5 or 10 programs every day, sharing the gospel and teaching about creation. Atheist programs is perfectly fine. Secular programs, Christian programs, they can have a different denomination. We can argue about which doctrinal differences later, but let's stick with the creation account. I will defend the Bible creation account as being scientifically accurate. So everybody can be calling people saying, like, would you have Kent Hovind on as a guest? That's something everybody can do sitting right in your chair. Okay? Thank you so much. We're going to have movie time tonight. Is that right? I have seen it, cried my way through with my wife. Heaven is for real. We'll go plug it in the dining hall, get it started. If you want to watch, I'll go get ice cream for the whole crew while you watch. Okay? All in favor of doing that, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say no. Eyes are above the nose. Let's go.